Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make another cute little mug rug. This is similar to my other video, but this one is made with a different weight of yarn and with a different size hook. So if you're not using big, chunky, bulky yarn and you have a medium weight yarn, this will be the video for you. For this project, you will need some yarn and a crochet hook. I'll be using a size 4 medium weight yarn and a size I crochet hook. You'll also need a little yarn needle and some scissors. And that is all. To get started, we're going to make a little slip knot. That is where we just bring our yarn around and loop into a little pretzel. So we kind of bring it down and around and under itself. And it makes what I think looks like a little pretzel or a little heart. And then we'll take our hook and put it under this little part of our pretzel that is closer to the end of our yarn, and hold the two sides outside the pretzel and pull up, up, up so that we've got a tiny, our pretzel will shrink and we'll have a loop on our hook, and when we pull the end of our yarn, we should be able to snuggle that little slip knot up to the top of our hook. Now we're going to make 16 chains. So I like to hold my little slip knot in place with my ring finger there so that it doesn't flip all around my hook. So I'm going to kind of hold that in place, and then I'm going to bring my yarn back and over. Then I'll hold my yarn and my slip knot while I pull my hook through that loop. And that is one chain. Now we're going to do that again. So we're going to take our long yarn, the long side, not our short side there. The long side, we're going to bring it back and over, and then holding the yarn and our little slip knot, we're going to pull the hook through our loop. And now we have 2 chains. We're going to repeat that. Bring the yarn back and over, holding onto the yarn and that little chain. Now that we've got, we're going to pull our hook through, and now we've got 3 chains. So let's see, we're going to do that a total of 16. So we've got a couple more to do. We're going to bring our yarn over and down, then holding onto the yarn and this little chain, bring it on through. Now we've got 4 chains. We're going to continue that. Here's 5, over and down, bring it on through. Here's 6, over and down, bring it on through. There's 7. You can see that our chain is getting longer, so we got to move our fingers up to kind of hold that chain. Bring it back and over with our yarn, and then holding this yarn and our chain, bring our hook on through. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chains. Halfway there. Bring our yarn over and down. Hold onto your yarn, hold onto your chain, bring it on through. There's 9. Yarn over and down, hold onto your yarn, hold onto your chain, bring it on through. There's 10. Yarn over and down, hold your yarn, hold your chain. There's 11. Yarn over and down. There's 12. Over and down, hold on, pull it through. There's 13. Yarn over and down, hold both sides. There is 14. Bring your yarn over and down, pull it on through your loop. There's 15. Yarn over and down, pull on through your loop. There's 16. I'm going to double check that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, and then 1 loop on our hook. Now we're ready to start with row 1. So to start this row, we're going to skip over our very first chain, and we're going to go into the second chain from our hook. So to do that, you're going to place your hook, you're going to insert your hook under this one little bump of your chain. So you can see that every chain has 2 little pieces of yarn in it. And we're just going under 1 little piece. So you can see the 2 little pieces of the first chain from my hook right here. And then here are the 2 little pieces of my second chain, here and here. So we're going to go under just the one. We're going to insert our hook, then holding with our ring finger so that little yarn doesn't flip around. We don't want to lose our chain. We want to hold it in place. We're going to bring our yarn over and down, and then we're going to bring our yarn through the first loop so that we have 2 loops on our hook. And now we're going to bring our yarn over and down, and we're going to bring it through both loops. Oh, and we've just made a single crochet. And we're going to repeat that in our next chain. So we're going to insert our hook into 1 little loop of our chain. We're going to bring our yarn back and over. We're going to pull our hook through so that we have 2 loops on our hook. Now we're going to bring our yarn over, and then we're going to bring the yarn through the 2 loops of our hook. And that is your second single crochet. We're going to do that again in the next one. We're going to insert our hook into the next chain, bring our yarn over and pull it through that chain, and then we're going to bring our yarn over, and then we'll bring the yarn through the 2 loops that are on our hook. And now we have 3 single crochets. And in the next one, we'll do another one. Insert your hook into that little loop of your chain, bring your yarn over, and pull your yarn through that chain. Now you're going to bring your yarn over your hook again, and then pull it through 2 loops on your hook. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets. Now we're going to continue that down the whole chain until we have 15 single crochets. So we insert our hook into the chain, bring our yarn over, and pull it through that chain. And then we're going to bring our yarn over and pull it through the 2 loops on our hook. And into the next chain, insert our hook, bring the yarn over, and pull that yarn through that chain. Then we're going to bring the yarn over, and then we'll pull our yarn through the 2 loops that are on our hook. And then we'll do it again. Insert our hook into the next chain, bring the yarn over, and pull it through that chain. And then we'll bring our yarn over and pull our hook through the 2 loops. In the next one, insert our hook into the chain, bring the yarn over, and pull our yarn through that chain. Then we'll bring our yarn over and pull it through 2 loops. And into the next one, we'll insert our hook to draw up a loop, yarn over, and draw through 2 loops. In the next one, insert our hook, yarn over to bring our yarn through. Got 2 loops on our hook now. Yarn over and draw through 2. Insert our hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, and draw through both loops. Insert our hook and draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. And insert our hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. Now we've just got 2 more left. We're going to insert our hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, and draw through 2. And here's our very last one. Insert our hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. And now we should have 15 little single crochets. Now we're going to start our next row. So you can see that each one of our single crochets has 2 little loops on top and 2 little lines coming down. So this one, you can see the 2 little loops on top here, 2 little pieces of yarn, and then in the front it has 2 little pieces coming down here. So we're going to put a single crochet into each one of these when we're coming back on the next row. So to start the next row, we want to chain 1. So the chain was where we just brought our yarn over our hook and then pull it through. So we're going to make 1 little chain to start each row. Then we're going to turn our work around. So we're just going to push it on back and around so that now we can go back this way. So we want to look and find our very first single crochet. It is right here. And we're going to go into the top of it to make our first single crochet of this row. So we're going to be putting our hook right in there, on top of that first single crochet. So you're going to insert your hook right there. It's right next to where you are. And you're going to draw up a loop of yarn. Draw it up. And then you're going to yarn over. So bring your yarn over your hook and then pull that yarn through the 2 loops on your hook.
And we have just completed our first single crochet of row 2.
And now once again we're going to find the next single crochet. There should be 2 loops on top of it right there. And that's where we're going to insert our hook. So under those 2 loops. And we're going to yarn over and draw up a loop. Then we're going to yarn over and draw through 2 loops. Now we've just made another single crochet. So we're going to find our next little single crochet, insert our hook into it, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops. And there's our 3rd single crochet. Into the next one, insert our hook, yarn over to draw up a loop, then yarn over and draw through 2 loops. And into the next one, insert your hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops. And we're just going to continue that on down this whole row until we have 15 single crochets. And you want to always count to make sure that you have 15 single crochets in each row.
Because sometimes it's easy to miss the first single crochet of your row or the last single crochet of your row.
But when you do that, your little square or rectangle will gradually get smaller and smaller, and then you'll end up with a triangle. So we don't want that. So we want to make sure we have 15. So let's double count. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 3 more to go. So let's find the next one. Here's 13. There's the next one. There's 14. And the very last one, you can kind of see how you could miss that, right? Because it's kind of going over the edge and it's kind of tiny. You might think that you're at your end, but that's why it's important to count. So this one is our 15th one. You can see the 2 loops there. I'm going to put my hook under there. There we go. Yarn over, draw up my loop, yarn over, draw through 2.
So now we've got 15 single crochets on this row, and we are ready to start row 3.
So to start every row, we're going to make a chain. So yarn over and bring it through. And now we're going to flip our work just like that. Now, once again, we want to find the first single crochet. It's right here. Right there. It's close to the edge. We don't want to miss it. So we want to put our hook into that first single crochet. You can see there's the 2 loops of it. I'm going to insert our hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. And that is our first single crochet of row 3. Then we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. Now we're going to continue on this row just like we did the last row, all the way across with 15 single crochets. So you find the next little stitch, insert your hook, you bring up some yarn, yarn over, and draw through 2 loops. And insert our hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. And you can count as you go, or can do like I do and I say, insert my hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. It's almost like a little song. Draw through 2, insert your hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. And once we're getting close to our end, I'm going to double check to make sure I'm getting my all 15 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got 2 more. So insert my hook, draw up the loop, yarn over, draw through 2. And here's my last one. I can see those 2 loops of yarn right there. Insert my hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. And now row 3 is finished and I'm ready to start row 4. So I'm going to chain 1 by making the yarn over and pull through. So there's my chain, and then I'm going to flip my work just like that. Now I'm going to find my first single crochet of the last round, or I guess it's the last one of the last round. It is right here, and I'm going to make sure that I get into that stitch by finding those 2 little loops on top of it. To insert my hook, I'm going to draw up a loop of yarn and then yarn over and draw through 2. And now row 4 is going to be just like row 3, just 15 single crochets all the way across. And you're going to repeat this row until you have about 15 or 16 rows of stitches, whatever you like best. I like it to look like a perfect square, so for me that takes 16 rows of stitches. So you're going to make as many rows as you want to make your little square, your little coaster, as long or as short as you like. But for me, that will be 16. And I'll just keep on going until I get there. So you can rewind this video back to row 3 or 4 so that you can do each row along with me if you like. And then once you get your coaster as big as you want it to be, I will meet you at the end and we can learn how to put some fringe on our coaster. All right, I'll see you there. So I have finished 16 rows. So I'm going to grab my scissors and cut my yarn a couple inches away from my hook. And then I'll grab my yarn needle so I can weave in these ends. Now you can take the loop that's on your hook and pull it all the way out. And we'll be all done with our hook for a little while. So let's set that over there. Now we want to hide these ends in. We do not ever want to cut them too close to our stitch because then it could unravel. And that would be really sad. So what we want to do is take our hook and run it kind of under the under those little lines of your crochet stitches for a little ways. And let's see, I've run it under 4, 5, let's do 6 stitches. So the needle is going inside the stitches. As you can see on the back, it's also under the stitches. Then you're going to take your yarn end and just weave it right through that needle. And then we can pull that yarn through those stitches. Then once we've got it woven in a little ways, then we can go ahead and cut it. And now we want to do that to the end as well, or rather this is the beginning, right? So same thing, bring your yarn needle and weave it through the bottoms of a couple of stitches. And then thread your needle with that yarn end, and then we can run it on through. And then once you've got it a little ways away, then you can cut that yarn. And now you've got a perfect square with no crazy ends hanging off of it. But if you want some crazy ends, you can add some fringe to this. That's really fun. You can use the same color yarn and put some cute fringe on the end, and that's really pretty. Or you can use a different color. So to make the fringe, you'll just want to cut a whole bunch of little pieces of yarn, like a whole bunch. And these are probably maybe 5 inches long or so. You'll want probably 30 little pieces of yarn so that you can have 15 on each side, since we have 15 stitches of our coaster. Now what you'll want to do is take these little pieces of yarn, you're going to fold them all in half, but you can do it one at a time. And you're going to take your hook and you're going to put it into the 2 loops of one of your stitches. So this is the top of my coaster. And you're going to bring this loop through. I think I did that the hard way. You could just loop it over and bring it through. Okay, just halfway, so that just that little folded piece of yarn is halfway through. Then you're going to take the ends of it and bring it through the loop. However you want to do it. You can use your hook or you can use your fingers. Bring it through, and it makes a little piece of fringe hanging off of your coaster. And you'll do that for all 15 of your little stitches on one side of your coaster. And then you'll come around and do it on the other side. This side will look a little bit different because this is your starting chain, but you'll just insert your hook next to each one of your little stitches to bring up your little folded piece of yarn. And then bring your ends through your loop. Once you've got all of your fringe done on both sides, I like to give each little piece a tug so it's nice and tight against my coaster. And then I like to give it a little haircut so that all of my little fringe pieces are the same length. So you can grab your little scissors and just try to trim all the pieces so that they're all about the same length.
And once you've got your fringe all trimmed up nice and straight, your coaster is all finished. Great job, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see what all of your coasters turned out like. Comment down below and tell me what colors you made, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!